What's happening, Celtic family? Hope you're all doing well out there. Welcome back to the channel, and it is now Monday, so welcome to a new week, and a week we're eventually going to get club football back. Now that the international stuff is done, we get back to club football. But before we can begin this video, please do us a favour, help support the channel by smashing that subscribe button and give us a wee thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Cheers. So now that international duties is over for another wee while, we can go back to concentrating on club football and getting this league all wrapped up. It would be nice to get it wrapped up as soon as we can. We have just been putting off the inevitable for so long, especially not getting that win against Rangers. But listen, it's done. We can't keep on going on about it, although I fucking am keep going on about it. But it's done, and we look forward to taking on Hearts on Saturday at Celtic Park. But before we continue with the video, I just wanted to send out my respects and best wishes to Eddie Jordan's family and friends, the absolute legend of Formula 1. We all know that he was also a big, massive Celtic supporter. So just going on here and having a look at the Celts Are Here blog, this is what they had to say. Celtic has paid tribute to Eddie Jordan following the sad news of his passing today. This was again on Thursday. The Formula 1 team owner and businessman was passionate supporter of the Hoops, with deep-rooted connections to the club that went far beyond just being a fan. The Dublin-born Jordan was not just a follower of Celtic, but also a shareholder in the club. His love for the Hoops was well known, and he frequently spoke about his admiration for the club's history, legendary players and iconic moments. His passion for Celtic shone through the interviews where he proudly recounted memories of the Lisbon Lions and other significant milestones in the Hoops' history. Jordan's involvement with Celtic was not just as a supporter but also as an influential figure behind the scenes. One of the most memorable contributions was recommending Gordon Strachan for the manager's role at the club. Having known Strachan for their time at Coventry City, Jordan personally put his name forward when Dermot Desmond asked for potential candidates. Strachan would go on to have a successful tenure at Celtic, winning multiple league titles and leading the boys to the knockout stages of the Champions League. So look, Eddie Jordan was a massive Celtic supporter. I think we all knew that. He did speak very passionately about Celtic. This was an absolute excellent blog from the Celts Are Here, so well done, guys. But my thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends at this sad time. In other Celtic news, it looks like John Barnes, of all people. John Barnes, of all people. That is correct. Let me say it for the third time, people. John Barnes, of all people, has had a bit of a pop at Brendan Rodgers and a wee bit of a pop at Celtic as well. In an interview with Poker Scout, John Barnes said, "It's a question of will the Premier League clubs be of interest to him," meaning Brendan Rodgers, because he's not going to a Liverpool, an Arsenal, a Man United or a Chelsea. Tottenham, possibly, but it's a question of is he going to have to come back to being in a team in the Premier League who's going to be mid-table, or maybe a Newcastle finishing 7th or 8th. He's going to win the league most years up in Scotland. He's been to the Premier League a couple of times, but yet he's gone back to Scotland. It's up to him what he wants. It's a very easy life for him up there. Celtic are the best team and Rangers are struggling. I don't think he'll be able to come back to the Premier League to a title challenger. If he says he wants to come back to the Premier League because he wants to be playing in a tougher competition week in and week out to show what he can do, then that's up to him. John Barnes continued on to say Celtic is never going to win the Champions League. If they can get through to a knockout phase or they can get through to a group stage, fine. But that's never going to change, not in Rodgers' lifetime anyway. I don't know what it is that they expect. I don't know why they want to beat him with a stick on that once they get an unrealistic expectation. It's never going to happen for any Celtic manager or Rangers manager or the two best teams up there in the near future. So I don't see why those expectations are there. Wow, John Barnes of all people out there throwing a couple of jabs at Celtic and Brendan Rodgers. I know nobody's going to take much notice of what John Barnes has got to say, but that's about it. I just thought I'd give you some Celtic news, some stuff that I came across. It is normally a load of shite. That came from the Sun. I don't even know if that has been said, but sounds like something fucking stupid that John Barnes would say. But let's look on to the starting 11 against Hearts this weekend. So it's always good to get back to club football. Let's be completely honest. I think all of us find that the international break can be a bit of a snooze fest and a bit of a hindrance, especially when you just want to get back into the club football, especially after that last loss. We just wanted to try and redeem ourselves and get back into it, but we had to wait for this 2-week international break. But listen, it's came along, it's done, and we take on Hearts on Saturday at 3 o'clock at Celtic Park. And we do need a big reaction to that game. As I said, I'm not going to keep going on about that game, but we need a big reaction from it, 100%. That game, we were poor. We were really poor. We all know that. So we need something to get the spirits up again. It's been 2 weeks of sitting there and stewing over that last result, but now we get a chance to redeem ourselves. So let's begin with my starting 11 prediction for that game against Hearts on Saturday. And of course, we're going to go with Kasper Schmeichel in goals, Alistair Johnson out in the right. In the middle, we will go for Cameron Carter-Vickers. And I'm not sure about Austin Trusty. I don't know what's going on with him right now. If he is back to full health, I hope so. But I am going to go with Narovsky in there just in case that Trusty is still out. I haven't heard anything right now if Trusty is back and fit and training. So I'm going to go with Narovsky in there because he did have a good game against Rangers. He was about one of the only ones who actually got pass marks, and I think we will all agree with that. A player that we weren't sure of in that game because he hadn't played a lot of football, but he came out with pass marks. He probably was the only one that came out with pass marks in that game. So I'm going to go with him in there because I'm not sure about Austin Trusty. Obviously, if Austin Trusty is available, I believe that he will play. Out on the left, we will go with Sloop. I just don't see why Greg Taylor will get back in that team now. As far as I'm concerned, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Sloop didn't have the best game in his last outing. To that, I can agree, but I didn't think he was quite as bad as what some people were thinking. But we all know that he's came into this team, he's hit the ground running, and in the main, we have all been pretty happy with his performance since he's arrived at the club. So I don't see why he will lose that spot. So I will go for Sloop out on the left. In the middle, it looks like we've got Cal McGregor back, which is amazing. So let's just go with the three that we normally do. Cal McGregor, Rio Hatate and Arna Engels in the middle. I think that is the best sort of three, the best middle that we could possibly, or we do possibly have at this time. I don't see who else we put in there. McCowan might come off the bench. If we had Bernardo fully fit, I don't know what the situation is with Bernardo. I don't know if he's close to being back out in the training field, if he is back in the training field. But I hope to get him back before the end of the season. It would be nice. It would be good to see him back in the squad, back in the bench, and getting some game time because I'm a massive fan. I'm a fan of Bernardo, and I think if Bernardo was playing against Rangers there, it would have definitely helped with Callum McGregor being out, but he wasn't. So that's it. We move on. But it would be really, really good to see him back. But I will go with Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate and Arna Engels in the middle. And up top, I will go with Jota out on the left, Maeda through the middle, and Kuhn out on the right. Kuhn has got, what would I say, a lot of making up to do. Would that be fair? I think Kuhn was just absolutely horrendous against Rangers. I think he will be given that chance to redeem himself. But it would not surprise me in the slightest if I seen Yang out there, if I seen Yang starting. Because, listen, every time he's came on for the past 2-3 months, he's definitely changed most fans' opinions. I always liked him. But I understood why people didn't get it. But I just seen something in the guy. I just seen something in him. I've said that. You can go back and you can definitely check that up. But it wouldn't surprise me if he starts him on Saturday. But I think that Kuhn will get that chance to redeem himself after that horrendous performance against Rangers. And listen, Kuhn has been maybe on the downward spiral for a wee bit, but that was a shocker. That was a shocking performance. He hasn't been as bad as that. So he will be given, I think he will be given his chance to go on there and really prove his point that was just an off day. So up front, Jota on the left, Maeda through the middle, and Kuhn on the right. Whatever you guys are up to this week, I hope it's a good one. Listen, stay safe out there, Celtic family. Hail, hail, and take it easy. See you on the next one.